Hi everyone, this is the fifth video in the series of integrations and we are going to discuss about a very cool feature which is newly introduced in ServiceNow as part of probably Rome release. So finally we have the ability to verify our JWT tokens within ServiceNow without the use of custom scripts. In earlier versions of ServiceNow, whenever we needed to verify the JWT token, we needed to use external JS libraries so that we are able to successfully verify the JWT token and process the remaining part of the script or the configuration that was done in the ServiceNow instance. But now we have the out-of-the-box configuration available so that the incoming JWT token can be verified and accordingly an access token can be generated for us to perform any kind of operation that we are wanting to perform within the instance. So let's get started and see how it works. So first of all, I am going to my OAuth application registry and I will create a new application registry. You can see that this is the newest option added over here. Create an OAuth JWT API endpoint for external clients. Let's click on this one and I'm going to give it a name as test JWT underscore OAuth. This is the client ID automatically generated and client secret will be automatically generated once I save this form. And on what basis the JWT token will be generated and accepted by the system is based on the user specific fields. So by default email is selected and even I prefer to use email, and based on your organization setup you can also select probably user ID if that makes things easy for you. And let me save this record and I think I have a few of the required information which I need to showcase the demo. Now to move forward I also need to generate a JWT token within ServiceNow. For that, within ServiceNow or maybe outside ServiceNow, if you're doing an integration between two ServiceNow instances, then the instance which is sending the data outbound will be generating the JWT token, and the instance which is receiving that request will be verifying whether the JWT token is authentic or not, or is it a valid one or not. Or if you're integrating with some other third-party applications, then that particular application needs to send the JWT token and it will be verified by the application B. Okay, so let's move forward. Now, how do we generate a JWT token within ServiceNow? That video is already published by me a couple of months back, and it is available in YouTube. This is the description of the video. Generate a JSON web token JWT in ServiceNow. So here I have explained everything which you need to generate a JSON web token in ServiceNow. The certificates, the key store, the scripts, everything. So one such script I am going to use right now to generate a JWT token and request an access token from the ServiceNow instance. Before I jump on to generating a token, let me first set up my things in the Postman, because I will be showcasing everything with the help of Postman. So let's go to the body, and first of all I will specify the client ID, which is this one. Next is client secret. Then the most important part is the grant type. It is not your usual kind of grant type, and it goes something like this: URN:IETF, then params OAuth grant type, JWT API. Too big to say, but this is how it is, and nothing much can be done. We will have to use it this way. And now I need to pass my JWT token. First, let's generate the JWT token using a background script. I have already written that script with me over here, since I did that configuration in my instance long back, and the certificate is still valid. So in the payload, what I'm passing is, in the AUD, this should be the client ID. Okay, let me first replace that. We'll go back to the OAuth application registry, and this is my client ID. Preferably this should be passed in the AUD claim as well as ISS claim. And since I'm using the email option in the application registry configuration for the user field, I am passing the email ID of one of the user which exists in the system in ServiceNow user table, that is passed as part of the SUB claim. Uh, then this is the existing JWT provider sysID. So let's open the JWT provider. Control C. Then I am using this one. This was already set up, and you can find more details in the generator JSON web token video about this. Now if I click on run script, a JWT token is generated, and let me copy this token. Control C, and if I go to the Postman, I need to pass the token over here to request an access token. Control V, click on send. So there is an issue. It says invalid JWT token, invalid JWT signature. Now, why the hell I am getting this particular error? Now let's hop to the jwt.io website and see why this is not working. This is the jwt.io website, and I am going to paste my JWT token over here. So you can see that all the details which I have passed to generate the token can be seen over here. This is the user detail in the SUB claim. AUD and ISS contains the client ID of the OAuth application registry. Then this is JTI, and it also says invalid signature. Now why that is happening? So to validate a particular JWT token, I also need the public key of the certificate which was used to create this token. Now let's go to the certificates module. and certificate 2 is the one. This is the public key. Let me copy this and let's see if this works on the JWT.io website. If yes, then it will also work in the ServiceNow instance. See, now my signature seems to be verified. So we need to do a certain configuration in the ServiceNow instance as well so that my JWT token is verified and I don't get that error again. Okay, so let's go back to the application registry. Now there are a couple of things over here. First is enable JTI verification. If I keep this checkbox checked, for every call to the instance, I need to send a different token altogether, which is also a recommended approach when you are dealing with things in the production uh, because it tightens your security. But as part of the testing over here, I am simply going to uncheck it so that we can do a lot of things with the same token. And then I have this JWT verifier maps. Let's click on new over here. So this is the key ID which is automatically generated. And this is a shared key. I'm going to leave it as blank and then I need to select my certificate over here. As I said, it is certificate 2, which is the public key of the certificate which was used to generate the JWT token. Let's submit this one. And I'm also going to copy this key ID and paste it over here. In real life scenarios, you will not be passing the data in this format since it is already available in the system. You will be writing a couple of scripts to get it from there and pass it to your scripts, and nothing hard coded will be required in that case. But since I'm just giving a demo, I'm not planning to take so much of time. And this is done. Now let's generate one more token and see if it works this time. One, and this is my token. Let's pass this token in the Postman and click on send. Again, it says invalid JWT signature. Okay, let's check it again what we have missed. Things look to be okay over here, and I am going to take the shared key. Then let's generate another one. Postman and send. For some reason, Postman did not like my token. That's sad. Let's try again. It should not be required, but let's check one more thing. So let me update this value. Everything else remains the same. And okay, let us check one more thing. So this is the key that was generated, and if I go to the JWT keys, and here I need to update this KID. Now let's try again. Hopefully it will work this time. This is my token. I am back in Postman, and let's click on send. Okay, so now I am finally able to generate my access token, and this is how we do it. Using client ID, client secret, client type, and assertion, we need to make sure of a couple of things like I did, that passing the variables wherever it is required, like AUD and ISS are usually the client IDs of my record and application registry. Sub contains the user data. If you have selected user ID or username in the user field, then you need to pass the username, which is usually first name dot last name or whatever conventions are used in different organizations. If you have selected email, then the user email needs to come here, and whatever KID is generated as part of your map, the same needs to be present in your JWT keys. And if you are using similar kind of script which I have used, then you need to pass the same KID, otherwise it will not validate. Now there is one more thing. Uh, Whatever we have seen so far, we are using four options as part of my request: client ID, client secret, client type, and then the token. And this token can also be used to create, let's say, an incident record in the system. Uh, let's see how we can do that. Then I am going to do a post call. Let's select any of them. And then I am going to use the JSON object. First is short description that I want to pass. Second variable that I want to pass is description. Let's pass one more thing, impact. So this is my object, and now I can simply pass authorization and the access token which I just copied. Yeah, this is the one. If I click on send, an incident should be created in the system. This is the incident number. Let's verify whether it is actually created or the postman is trying to fool me. So the incident is created for real. This is the short description, and the impact is 1, and this is the same number. So this is how we request an access token using a JWT token, and using that access token we can do or perform whatever operation we are willing to perform. Now there is one more thing to it. As of this example, I use client ID and client secret along with the grant type and the JWT token. But if I don't want to use client ID and client secret, there is also another option available for the same. There is a field called public client which is not on the form by default. Let's wait for a second, and I'm going to add it. If I check this checkbox and if I click on save, I don't need to use client ID and client secret as part of my request. I can simply uncheck this. If I click on send now, I am still able to request the access token. Okay, and I can use this access token. What is happening? Come on. And if I click on send again, another incident will be created. Let us reduce the lifespan to, let's say, 5 seconds and request different tokens to see if it works out. Send. Okay, Probably my token JWT token has expired. I need to request a new one. Send, and I am able to request a new token. Let's wait for a couple of seconds and I am going to request a new one. See, this is a token which is different than the previous one since I gave the token expiration time is 5 and I can still use this to create another ticket. I think I kept the token time very small. So meanwhile I went to create a new one. It is already expired. And I'm going to request a new token first. Let's see this time. Yes. So that was an issue with token expiry time. Between the duration when I generated the JWT token, requested an access token, and I went to a different tab, it was already expired. So this is pretty much it, and this is how we can request an access token based on a JWT token. So this is for people who are already on Roam, but for the others who are on prior releases, I will be demonstrating the integration using the JWT token in my upcoming videos again using custom scripts, because the JWT token verification is only available as part of Roam release so far. So let's see how things turn out. If not everybody is upgrading to the Roam, then this feature is something which you will not be able to make use of. But even otherwise, there are some custom scripts available online which can be utilized to create a JWT token. But since ServiceNow offers a very easy to navigate, only configurable part in the ServiceNow instance to be able to generate a JWT token, my recommendation would be to use the same. But when it comes to token verification, I don't think there is any other way available in the ServiceNow instance which is available out of the box apart from this particular release. But it is possible via external APIs and external JavaScript libraries which can be used, and I'm going to show that in one of my future videos. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe.